All right, guys, we're going to get into some seated good mornings. I'm going to show you these with a chair. You can do these with a bench, like a long hot dog style bench or weightlifting bench. That's actually the most ideal piece of equipment to use. But if you don't have access to that, I'll show you with a chair as well. So with the seated good morning, let's just get into initial positioning and what the entire purpose of this exercise is. Feet are going to be just under the knees, and we'll say knees out. The reason you can't go like this, or it's maybe less advisable, is because at some point your belly's, even if you're skinny like me, your belly's going to run into your legs, and it's going to restrict your range of motion. So my knees are going to be wide so that I create space for my belly and chest to move into. That's important. When I do this, and I'll show you from the side, the entire goal is to move at the hips. So what you'll feel is, especially on a hard seat, is your sit bones. Those are the bony part of your butt that you sit on. You should feel those scraping behind you as you hinge forward. So if I just do this, my sit bones didn't move at all, and all I did was move my lower back. Not the end of the world, but not the point of the exercise either. So from here, I can cross my hands. Feet are going to be just under the knees, and knees are open. From there, I scrape my sit bones back on the chair or on the bench, and I sit as low as I can, keeping my back as flat as I can. From there, I push through the ground and sit back up. Okay? So that's the general motion. You can start loading these in front like this, but my preference is back behind the neck. Not on the neck, back here and hold it. So from here, same thing. You feel my sit bones scraping back as I go as low as I can, and then I push to come back up. Could I get all the way down and do this? Absolutely. Would that be taking away from my hips and using a little bit more lower back? Yes, it would. It's just a different exercise. So the main limiter of range of motion when I'm doing this is my adductors and hamstrings. If you don't feel a stretch here when you're doing this, chances are you're moving your lower back. So if you isolate the hips, you will feel a tremendous stretch here. So you can load this with a dumbbell, you can load it with a kettlebell, either in front or behind. Eventually you can start loading with a barbell. The only reason to load with a barbell is because it's getting too inconvenient to load with a dumbbell. A barbell is just a better loading strategy as you start to get up around 40, 50, 60 pounds. Okay? And the barbell will just go back behind you like this, like you're back squatting, and then you'll go as far forward as you can. Only go as far into this movement as you can keep your back flat. As soon as you start doing this, again, not the end of the world, it's just a different exercise.